I wish I would have known earlier.
I would have started investing so much earlier if I just knew these three things when I was 18.
One thing I wish I did way earlier in my 20s.
Imagine being 45 or 55. You're approaching closer and closer to retirement. You've worked super hard all your life. You've paid all your bills, all your debts, and you own your house fully. But other than this, you then realize you've actually not built anything for your future other than paying off debt and now owning your house. And most people don't even own their house and still pay debt for most of their life. And all these people say one similar thing, which is, I should have started investing earlier. And my friends, this pinnacle moment is exactly why we're doing this video today. If you're new here, hello, my name is Vic. I'm a registered nurse and certified life coach turned personal finance strategist. And over the last years, I've learned and understood how to build long-term wealth while working an average NHS job. No rich parents, no fancy income. This channel is specifically for ambitious men who want to get smarter with their money and avoid years of painful financial mistakes. Because I know I've made a few myself. And just to be clear, my friends, this is not in any way financial or investment advice. It's based on my own personal experiences. I practice everything I preach, and it's all purely for educational purposes only. Now let's get straight into the video. Please subscribe and share.
I would have started investing so much earlier if I just knew these three things when I was 18. And the first one's got to be start as early as possible, because the power of compound interest skyrockets the longer you are in the market. I mean, go and look at a compound interest calculator on Google, have a play around with it and watch the numbers. It's crazy. Number two, I thought you had to be so knowledgeable on the subject of investing, but that's simply not the case. Index funds, things that you invest in with zero knowledge, outperform most Wall Street guys. I mean, that shows how much knowledge you need to get started with investing. And number three, which I thought was a common misconception, is you have to have so much money to start investing. You know, the rich are the only ones who can invest, but that's just not the case. Look at any of these platforms now, and most of the time you can start with just £1.
My friends, I'm going to cover this very quickly because I actually cover this significantly more, and I've made a whole smart money blueprint in my actual online community. I won't be going into too much detail on this. I'll just show you sort of the figures. If you are interested, the link below. I do think if you enjoy these videos, you'll definitely enjoy the online community more, as I just go into things in more depth there. And I'm looking for the first 100 ambitious men to help shape it up currently anyway. I really have a lot of faith in the online community. I really think I've done a very good job in actually making the content on the community very, very valuable for you, and it's extremely affordable. So that's sort of all I've got to say about it. So as you can see here, I'm just going to use this guy's age. So this guy was 23 years old, which is fantastic. The fact that he's even thinking about investing at that age is incredible. If we just do a £50 initial investment, basically this guy will do, let's say, £50 every single month, right? At a 10% nominal rate of interest, meaning again, before adjusted for inflation. So this is the actual cash value that you will see in your actual account balance. This is not the real value, meaning it's after adjusted for inflation. When you look at your actual bank account, or when you look at any investment portfolio, you're not looking at the value after adjusted for inflation. You're looking at your cash balance, which is the nominal rate of return. So that is why we're sticking with the nominal rate, and we're going to be doing years of 45 years, because that's retirement age currently in the UK. And then we're going to be doing £50 every single month. And I'll just show you what an incredible result just for 50 quid. I mean, if you, like I say, this is obviously based on speculation. I'm not saying this will happen guaranteed, but assuming a 10% interest rate, nominal rate of return in what you're investing in, which is very realistic, to be honest, depending on what you're investing in, of course. The interesting bit is this, and this is why starting as early as possible, and why I genuinely am urging you to understand and get educated about this sort of things. And my online community will not be a bad place to get started with this, is because if I increase these years from 45 to 52, just increasing the years by 7 years, only 7 years, not anything more, just look at the future investment value. As you can see, the results are over £1 million now, just for an extra 7 years, because your wealth building machine that you've built, aka your investment portfolio that you started all those decades ago, this is the money that it's generating you in over a fifth of the time it took you to make the first £500,000, which is incredible. And the reason why that's possible is because of the fact that you started significantly early. And as a rule of thumb, your investment value basically doubles every 7 years approximately. This is just based on 50 quid a month. As decades go by and inflation increases, I would not be surprised if the average interest rate, this is my own opinion, would increase to even 12 or 13% on average, because with inflation and with companies' valuations growing, it makes sense for this to happen. If you can set aside £50, which I'm sure 99.9% of the people watching this video can do, you can definitely make it happen for yourself. And again, this is 50 quid, this is not £100, this is not 150, this is not £200. And I want you to succeed because I know you can do it.
10 investing tips I wish I would have known earlier. And the sixth one that I'm going to share with you changed everything for me. Number one, start now. Of course, the earlier the better, but the worst thing you could do is not invest. 2, before you invest, start with your goals. Then use those goals to determine your time horizon. 3, focus on the percentage you're saving, not the performance of your portfolio. 4, never invest in something you don't understand. 5, don't listen to the media. 6, don't find comfort in what others are doing. When others are greedy, you be fearful, and vice versa. 7, panic selling is a guaranteed loss of money. 8, don't time the market. 9, understand your risk tolerance and your capacity. 10, investing should be boring.
Now, this guy makes exceptionally good points, and I won't go through absolutely every single one because this video will be too long, but I will go over my favorite points from what he said that I personally believe and do so myself as well, that I have full, strong belief in too. The first one is investing as early as you possibly can. I know most people will not probably understand this, but this is the reason why. And let me just show you in 3 screenshots right now in the next 10 seconds. Let's say we have a 25-year-old dude that's investing and building his investment portfolio currently, right? Investment age in the UK at the moment is 67 years old. So, and he's 25, so to get to 67, that's 42 years. Let's say he was investing £100 every single month. At the end of the 42 years, he will have £780,000 on speculation. This is all on speculations, of course. If I just reduce that by 5 years, and let's say he started at 30 years instead of 25, you have £469,000, a bit under double that amount, but it's a significant difference for just 5 years of difference. And finally, if he invested 10 years later at 35 with the same amount of £100, he will only have 32 years to invest up to the retirement age of 67. And on speculation, he would have £280,000 for the same amount. And as you can see, the only factor in every single one of these events is the time invested in the markets. That's it. And as you can see, just with a 10-year gap, the person that's been investing for 32 years compared to the one that's been investing for 42 years, and it's just only a 10-year difference, only 10. But the amount that each have based on speculative measures is almost 300%. That's almost 3 times the difference, my friends. And this is why investing is so important. And I'm sure in these videos, you will feel the borderline prestige level content I put out to you. And over time, my friend, you probably want to join the online community I built for ambitious men like you. Not only just because it's affordable, but because investing takes time. And it is truthfully very boring doing it yourself. But it's okay, that's all right. But with this community, I'm just trying to make more of a fun way to group together a group of ambitious men who only want to focus on getting smarter with their money and building real long-term wealth, with each of us on a very, very similar financial journey. And again, my friends, I'm looking for the first 100 ambitious men to join this online community, so I would appreciate your help in helping me shape up the community, because I've been in way too overpriced communities before that have been really low effort, really low value, have not really provided any guidance, support towards their members, and I do not want to do that with this community at all. I want to build something better for you. As the community gets more and more valuable and better over time, with more and more members coming in. Because the more members there are, the more we actually learn from each other, and the more fun it is just to go through this amount of time investing together. And along the way, you even get more smart with our money too. So I'll shut up now and let you know that there's a 7-day free trial when you click the link below. Check it out and see if it's for you, my friend. It'll be great to see you there. I would definitely say point 6 from this guy is the most important point, which from the world's best investor, Warren Buffett, that says, buy when people are fearful and sell when people are greedy. And this is why you should not listen to the media. This is why the media doesn't really matter. If anything, the media is a very good indicator to show you how people feel, because normally whatever the media says, that's how investing sentiment is going to be for the rest of the market. If the media is saying that the market's really bad and there's significant amounts of bad media about the market, that's going to drop investing sentiment, meaning that people are probably going to be more fearful and they'll probably want to sell more, etc., stuff like this, right? Instead of holding on to it, which is why the actual value of stocks and the actual funds, etc., drops, because people sell off. Sometimes there's a massive sell off, but in general, people sell off. That's just how the investing sentiment is, and it's always been like this because people get fearful. And at that point, it gives you a significant advantage to be able to buy at discounted prices. However, even though I'm saying this right now, you may still be fearful in actually buying it because you may not know in what to buy. You may be scared into understanding this logic because you've never experienced it yourself. Whereas I can tell you with my own evidence of 4, 5+ years investing that it is 100% true. And most of the time people are just scared in general, which is again why I believe being in a community is so valuable. So your limiting beliefs are actually challenged, so you understand and clearly see why. I've actually spent my time to make an hour-long video about the top 10 limiting beliefs that most people have about investing that can be broken just by watching the video. And these are limiting beliefs that I personally had myself, by the way. This is not something that I'm making up, right? And of course, my friends, with no matter what you do, always research into what you are buying. This is one of the most important points because you need to know what you're buying. When you buy a share of a stock, of a fund, of anything like this, of an ETF, you become part owner and you have a small percentage of ownership of that stock or company or fund, etc. Therefore, it makes sense if you're the owner, or even if it's part owner, it doesn't matter. You're still owning a small, very tiny percentage of ownership of it, but you're still technically an owner. How can you own something that you don't know? It just doesn't really make sense. Therefore, don't buy anything randomly and gamble with it, which is genuinely, in my opinion, I think what most people do, not just here in the UK, but in general all around the world. And this is why, in my opinion, they lose, because they don't understand the main fundamental principles of investing, and they don't fully get the psychology behind investing too, which both come hand in hand, in my own opinion, and are very equally important.
I'm currently stuck on the A2 in a traffic jam, standstill traffic, so I thought I'd take the time to ask you a serious question. Have you opened a Stocks and Shares ISA yet? If not, why not? It's free, easy to do. Pick your platform, off you go. You can put in up to 20k a year, and any money that you make, either in dividends, gains, etc., are completely tax-free. Whatever you make is yours to keep without any tax going to the tax man. Every tax year that goes by and you do not make the most of that 20k allowance that you have available to you, what are you doing? Put the money in, even if you don't invest it straight away. Put your cash in there. Use your allowance. Use it. If one day you want to be work optional, if one day you want to achieve financial freedom, if one day you want to be in a position where you're like, you know what, I've got bag, I'm good, then honey, please invest in your Stocks and Shares ISA.
I like this goal. My friends, I would make sure you listen right now because this is probably one of the most important points in the whole video. Because for me, in my own opinion, the UK has some, if not, in my opinion, the best tax advantaged accounts when it comes to investing and when it comes to retirements, in my own opinion, because of the fact that with these tax advantaged accounts, like in the UK, we have the Stock and Shares ISA, we have the Lifetime ISA, we have the self-invested personal pension. All of them are completely free of tax, and you can actually still invest. We talk about this in my online community because it is one of the best ways, in my own opinion, to start your journey onto growing your wealth. Because not only can you invest in, like, let's say, easy index funds that grow on average about 8 to 10% on average annual rate of return a year, but you can also invest into different funds like an accumulation fund, which is actually personally what I'm doing, meaning that depending on the dividend payout, whether it's quarterly, biannually, or annually, mine is biannually, whenever those dividends get paid out, they automatically get reinvested, so I buy even more accumulation units without me literally doing anything. I've completely set it up with my brokerage that I use, and I don't have to do anything. The money just automatically comes out of my account, automatically gets invested into the specific accumulation funds that I want, and the dividends reinvest, and everything just happens completely flawlessly and automatically. And the best part of this is, again, like this lady says, you can put up to £20,000 in there, and that's all tax-free, meaning that whatever you put into this Stocks and Shares ISA, and when you actually invest it, that money, that growth, all the capital gains, you don't get paid, you don't pay anything. There's no capital gains tax, there's no income tax on it, it's completely tax-free on withdrawals. So all that money is yours. That's why there's a limit of £20,000 compared to the USA, which I'll just show you a screenshot now. It's $7,000 you can contribute in the Roth IRA under the age of 50, and over the age of 50, it's $8,000 every single year. You can see the difference is significant, because in my opinion, it excites me every single month seeing more and more of my wealth build up because of these amazing accounts. I personally have my own plan and my own strategy that's slightly different to this, which I'll be more than happy to talk about and share within my community. But of course, I would never recommend anything to you. So my friends, if you haven't done so already, do some research on stocks and shares. If you want to ask me any questions, again, you can. This is not financial advice in any way. This is just personally what I've done. If you have any questions about this, my friends, put it down in the comments below. And let me know, if you're in the UK, which ISO tax advantage account you actually prefer the most. Or even if it's a SIP, do you prefer the SIP? It'd be interesting to know. And if you're in the USA, I think the only account really that I know is the Roth IRA in regards to tax advantage accounts. But it'll be cool to know what other accounts they have there too. So let me know down in the comments below. If you found this video entertaining and helpful, give it a like, really helps support the channel. And check out the link below to get even more value, my friends. Remember, I don't just make these videos for you, I make them with you. If you've seen something financially wild or want me to break it down, or even just want to constructively critique my videos so I can make them even better for you, drop a comment in the comments below. I reply to every single one, and who knows, your comment might just get featured and help shape the next video. YouTube recommends and thinks you'll like one of these two videos over here. Pick one, and I'll see you over there, my friends.